All of this despite Hollywood saying families don't want movies like this anymore. No, people absolutely do. People absolutely want movies that treat fans the right way and are something that's family friendly for everybody to watch, that doesn't have woke agenda shoved down your throat. And of course, we heard a lot of the complaints before this movie ever came out. As soon as Chris Pratt was announced, and I'll be straight up, I was one of the people who were questioning this voice casting, not because I don't like Chris Pratt. I love Chris Pratt. I was just wondering if his voice was going to be the right one to fit Mario. It absolutely was, but so many people, these Chris Pratt haters out there, decided that that was enough to make them not watch this because Chris Pratt is so terrible. He's a straight white man who's a Christian in Hollywood. How dare he? Just like everything this dude does. You see so many of these weirdos, these freaks, come out on Twitter and say, we're going to boycott anything he's in. That didn't work out very well, did it? But Chris Pratt handled it exactly the right way. Continued to be positive, continued to promote the movie, and even acknowledged, you know what, fans? You have a right to be passionate about this stuff. You have a right to be invested in this. You have a right to question whether the steps they're taking are right or not. Chris Pratt responds to Super Mario Bros. Casting backlash. I totally get it. And that's when he sat down and said this. The same thing that we've heard from people like Henry Cavill who care about the fans. We heard from Chris Pratt.
I think that, in all honesty, the answer, though, is that this is a passionate fan base, and it makes sense. Like, I understand I'm part of it. This is the soundtrack to your youth.
Yeah.
You don't want someone to come along and cynically kind of destroy it as a cash grab with the movie. I fully understand that. You do not want that to happen. And there were so many hearts and souls and minds dedicated to making sure that didn't happen. And you saw the movie. It's really honors the video game. It honors.
And that's absolutely true. It does honor the video game. It honors the fans. It honors every aspect that you could possibly want for Mario, for Nintendo. That's why it is so successful. But still, even now, there are people out there that are furious about this, that aren't going to go see it because of Chris Pratt, that are saying, how dare you go watch this movie? How dare you support this movie? And unfortunately for them, these people, these freaks with pronouns in their bios, they are in the minority. Look at some of this shit. To be honest, even if Chris Pratt wasn't an absolute shitbag of a human, I'd still be pissed about them casting him as Mario. At Pratt. Here's a great example of how racist Chris Pratt is against Italians. In preparing for the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Pratt said he tried to make his accent sound like Tony Soprano and like a gangster. Oh, heaven forbid, that's the worst thing anyone could ever say. I'm seeing a lot of, we owe Chris Pratt an apology. No, we don't. He did a lot better than I expected, but I still don't respect him for what he did to Anna Faris, so fuck you. With Chris Pratt's track record, I think he'd call Luigi an F slur. It's a pretty funny tweet. LRT, this is exactly what rubs me weird to see people claim Chris Pratt redemption arc just because he recited a little bit of Mario trivia. Just saw someone say Chris Pratt deserves way more respect. LMAO, these people will simp for any famous homophobic dipshit. And it just keeps going. Are people unaware Chris Pratt's literally the same or worse than J.K. Rowling? Because, like, we should be boycotting Mario Bros. Movie a lot easier to boycott than Harry Potter. No, Chris Pratt is literally super transphobic and anti-gay. These people are having a meltdown because they thought maybe in their minds, in their little echo chamber, that they might have some effect and they may have some impact on this movie. Just like we saw with Harry Potter or Hogwarts Legacy and J.K. Rowling, that didn't work. That backfired. The same thing is happening with this. These people are not people you should be listening to. People with their little flags, their pronouns in their bio. It tells you everything you need to know about them right off the bat. Look at this person, Chris Pratt, part of a church that supports conversion therapy, talks shit about his ex-wife and disabled child when she gets an abled baby, doubles down on problematic behavior and called out white cis men. But his Mario voice is decent. You should apologize to him. The haters cannot handle it. Shout out to Master the TDS for some of those. The haters cannot handle the fact that Chris Pratt did a great job as Mario, that this movie is doing monstrous numbers at the box office, that it appeals to everybody, old people, young people, men, women. There is no other option other than that, by the way. But Nintendo fans are loving this thing. It was exactly what it should have been. And now Universal Illumination are reaping the box office rewards for doing right by the fans. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section below. Once again, Chris Pratt haters, BTFO'd. You are in the minority. You are freaks, and you have no impact because people have stopped listening to you. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.